Hey guys, this is Locke. In this video, I'm going to give you 3 tips to beat the story mode bosses. So as you're going into hard and very hard story modes, you'll find that sometimes, even with the correct resistant hero, the bosses is still applying debuffs to your units. If I take a look at my Gui right now, he has level 16 of the burn resistance skill. I think this is kind of where a lot of people might be, like maybe 16 over and lower at like 14 or 13 or something. And I'm intentionally not using the Oath of the Transcender set on him because I have this belt, which is giving me a +3 to all to my passive especially. And a lot of people might not have this belt or something similar. You might have like a +1 skill belt. So that's the reason why I purposefully didn't put the Oath of the Transcender on, because to kind of mimic where other people might be at, right? So anyway, so this is where you might be, and he gives 70% burn resistance, and sometimes this might not be enough. The boss might still be doing debuffs to you. So I found this tip to kind of help with that, and the other 2 tips are also actually all 3 tips are kind of interrelated. So the first tip is actually to use this formation, tactical, and move your units around so that everyone is taking advantage of this tactical formation. So suppose I want to fight the first boss or the third boss, the first chapter or third chapter boss, which is doing fire damage. Um so I want to use a formation like I want to use this formation, the tactical formation, and I want to make sure that my units kind of fit in that formation. Now you'll notice that I'm using Karen, and there is no support slot for her. But Karen actually has a passive which decreases the status effect uh, which decreases status effects from hitting her. So she can actually go into any slot. So whatever slot that's free, you can put her in. So chapter 1 boss, I might actually fight with exactly this setup, right? Serena is actually very good because she's a support, but she is a universal type, so she can actually go into the midline, and she will, she will do well. If I have to use somebody like Len, wherever my Len is, I'm just gonna use this Len because I don't see her anywhere else. I might do something like this, and obviously, actually, yeah, this will work because she is universal type. I have my DPS, and I have Gui. Um, but so now this is my second tip actually. If I am doing something like this and I have a level 20 Len, which is what I actually have here, and she's not leveled up enough, and I want to do the chapter 3 boss where Len is a suppression hero for that, instead of using Len, I can actually use a friend's pet if I don't have the pet myself. So I click on this button here, the one next to the mailbox. I click that, and I click specifically this pet or other pets that have the skill, all allies are immune to damage for 2 seconds. So this is actually how you would do it. So you would use the pet, you can use it for five times a day. And it's not only Valder, there are other, but the other pets are, I believe, like legendary. There's, I think, one other rare pet, but I don't remember which one it is, and I don't really want to spend too much time looking for it. Yeah, it's basically try to find any pet that gives you that skill. Like this one, this is a legendary pet that gives you allies are immune to damage for 4 seconds. So you can use this skill right as the boss is casting his suppression skill that's going to wipe out your party. So just use this skill right before it hits, basically, and you can use this in story mode. So it's not going to work for raids or anything, but it will work for whatever story content you're doing. Um, yes. So if I'm doing that, so I don't need to put Len here, right? So I have this pet. So instead, I will probably do something like this. Sorry, where's Serena? I would just use this exact same formation that I used for chapter 1. I would use it for chapter 3 as well. So the first tip was to use this formation to decrease the chance of the boss hitting you with these debuffs. The second tip was to use the pet like I showed you, and the third tip is actually how to kind of kite the boss. So especially if you're using Karen in your slot 1, the boss might be targeting her, right? So there are some things that you can do to actually mitigate the damage that Karen's going to take. So first of all, you definitely want to turn off this where all the you know th- right now all the heroes are moving together, right? You want to turn it off and set it on Karen and kind of have Karen kite the boss like the entire time that the boss is targeting her. when the boss is going to use an AoE skill that's going to target everyone, then you switch it on and move everybody along with her. But most of the time, you kind of just want her to do this, and you don't really want her to attack unless her skill gauge is not full. Because if somebody dies, you really want her to use her ult to bring them back. So you really want to use that. But aside from that, you don't have to worry too much about actually attacking with Karen. That might not be the case with other heroes. Like if the boss is attacking Rachel, who's the only DPS unit on this team, I really want Rachel to do some damage as well. So it's actually going to be a little bit harder to kite with somebody that's more tanky like Rachel than it is for somebody like Karen. And I'm actually going to attempt to show a fight. I'm going to do the chapter 3 fight, because I would actually do chapter 1, but it takes longer to get to there because I have to, go through all these mobs and it'll take a while. So I thought I would just go to chapter 3 because it's easier to get to. The boss is right there for me, so I will go there and I'll attempt to show how I'm kiting with Karen. And when the boss changes targets to somebody else, I'm going to kite with other people as well. But there we go. So I'm barely attacking, and as I'm moving, it's so much easier to avoid like almost all skills, right? I just have to make sure that I'm careful that if he starts to use the big AoE, I have to be kind of close enough for everybody that I can basically do something like that. Okay, run and that, and then I switch it back off. Okay, now I have to switch it back on and have them all run away. So basically, this is how I'm gonna kite, and he's still following Karen. Like he's landed a few hits, but not much, right? Because I'm attacking a little bit, but not much, and by doing that, I'm actually able to avoid getting hit so much. And now he's switched his target to Serena, and there we go. And again, back like before, I'm just kind of moving with her. So this is how you would do it, right? And I'm probably not going to beat this boss because I don't have enough damage with the setup that I have. But this is exactly how you would beat it. Okay, and he's going to attack Serena again. And then when he's using his suppression skill, you would use Valder. But you can tank with these people as long as they don't die in one hit, basically, right? Like you can actually tank with anyone, Serena, and you just have to make sure. Okay, so I used the pet skill to avoid that, but you basically want to do that not when he's using that skill, but when he's using a suppression skill. But that's exactly how you would do it to avoid it, because I knew I was going to die and I didn't really want to die and then restart this whole thing. But this is exactly how you would do it. This is how you would beat the boss. These are the 3 tips. The first tip was to, okay, now I switched over to Karen. So I'm tanking with Karen now. The first tip was to use that formation. The second tip was to use that pet, the Valder pet, or any other pet that gives you immunity like that. And the third tip is this is how you tank. Like you have to also make sure that you're fast enough to switch to whatever unit that he's attacking. That you control that unit and kite with it. This is the only thing that's a little bit of a problem sometimes, because your units might, you might not be fast enough to get them all out of range. So that's sometimes the only problem that you have to be a little bit careful of. And Serena died. Oh wait, Karen died. Okay, so I died. But that's basically how you're gonna do it. And almost every single boss, I never really beat them on the first turn. It takes a few tries, but that's okay. That's just how this game is. It is a bit difficult, especially this boss fight especially the very hard mode. But I hope these tips help. If you have other questions or comments, or you still need some help with something, let me know, and I will do my best to help you guys out. But I really hope that this video helped you guys a little bit, at least. That's what I'm hoping. Anyway, I will see you guys next time, and I hope you guys have a good day. Take care now.